Hey, I'm Corinne and I'm the founder of Speckled, the tool that helps PMs build the right thing at the right time. And today we're going to talk about what you do after you have your roadmap. Like, how do you move from stories on your roadmap to features that customers can play with? So obviously the challenging thing about being a PM is all the stuff that comes after you have your roadmap. It's not just balancing and managing it, which definitely is a skill in itself, but it's also how do you implement it? How do you make sure all of your stakeholders are happy along the way? How do you know that your engineering team has the information that they need to build the thing right and the right thing? Like how do you do that? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. The good thing is that if you can do this well, this is going to be a huge bonus for anyone who basically employs you. You're going to become known as the product manager who can take something from just an idea in someone's head to something that a person can use and play around with, and that can be hopefully helpful to a lot of people. So you're done with your product strategy meeting. You have your new shiny roadmap. You're all excited. And that's awesome. But there's a little bit of a looming black cloud over your head. It's like, who's going to do this? Like, how long is it going to take? What do we need? Like, are there dependencies that we don't know about? Are there stakeholders who aren't going to dig some of these ideas? There's a lot to think about. The good thing is that the amount of overwhelm can be reduced by taking a few steps. And the first step is to define the scope of each of these stories on your roadmap. This helps you figure out what is and what is not included in each of these stories. Say you're building a drag and drop feature for a landing page generator product. Like, what does drag and drop really mean? It sounds like a silly question, but it's something that you're going to have to sit down and think about. Does this mean drag and drop on a single page that we have? Does it mean drag and drop everywhere throughout the application? Does it mean that it has to be accessible? Does it have to have certain qualities? All that kind of stuff. And this is something you're going to think through, and you're going to write down what is and what is not included in this roadmap story of yours. And then once you have your scope defined, the next thing is to start writing your specs. So if you're not familiar with them, specs basically tell everyone why this feature is getting built, what it entails, how we're going to do it. It's a big planning document that helps you really think through the feature that you're about to build. It's really helpful for especially big features. It's going to include things like user stories, which are very critical. It's going to include things like mock-ups and wireframes that you're going to have to work with your designer on. It's going to include timelines, dependencies, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to need your scope, and then you're going to need your specs. So once you have those, another good thing to start thinking about is our third consideration, stakeholders. And this is where things get a little bit squishy. And this is something I can't really teach on video, unfortunately. But it's going to be, how can you get your stakeholders on the same page and behind the thing that you're about to build? It's tough to do, especially if your stakeholders aren't exactly for a particular thing, or maybe someone else's thing is getting built before theirs and they're a little ticked off at you because you're not building their thing. So this is where you need to talk to each of your stakeholders, specifically the ones who are maybe a little bit pushing back against you one-on-one, and really try to get them on board and show them why you're building it and really persuade them that this is good for them. So once each story has a scope, a spec, the stakeholders are on board, it's almost as simple as handing off everything to your engineering team and then being the go-between for your engineering team and the rest of your stakeholders. And before you know it, your engineering team is going to come back and they're going to be like, hey, here we go. Let's test it. Let's deploy it. And then bam, you just went from a line item on a roadmap to something that your customers can touch and use and hopefully get a lot of value out of. So I hope you found this helpful. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at getspeckled.com/blog. Just drop your email there, and then every Sunday we send the top 3 product stories of the week, specifically curated for product managers at startups and small businesses. And in the meantime, happy strategy implementation.